Hi, my name is Zach Dufran and I am obsessed with moths. I started 4 years ago taking pictures of some moths under my porch light, and in the last 4 years I've recorded more than 600 species just here in my suburban Oklahoma yard. It's amazing how many moths there are around the world, and we have a lot right here in Oklahoma. I started a project on iNaturalist called Moths of Oklahoma, and we have close to 1,500 species now. I started with my porch light, but now I've moved on and I have 2 different setups that I use in my backyard. This is my main setup. I have a twin white sheet, cheap, and some PVC pole that I use on the outside. And then I have rebar that I use to attach it to the ground so that it can be kind of mobile and located anywhere that you can tap it into the ground. I have some little tethers here, and I use tent stakes to keep the sheet taut so that something that lands on it can be seen easily without wrinkles on the sheet, and also so that it doesn't move around too much if there is a breeze. I use a little camera tripod here with a clip light attached with a mercury vapor lamp, and these are the kind that you would buy to like heat up your reptile if you have one of those. The light bulb is a little bit pricey. That's the most expensive thing I've purchased out of my setup. It was, I think, $35, but everything else is pretty cheap, and this is very attractive to insects of all types. This is my other setup. I bought this standing wardrobe at IKEA. It's the kind that you would use if you didn't have a closet in a room. And I have this cheap clip-on light, and bought an LED screw-in bulb, blacklight bulb, that I use with this one. These different frequencies of lights attract different insects. So this is a great other option if you want to have different frequencies of light going at the same time. Okay, so now it's after dark and we're going to check and see what's come to the sheet. Here we have a filbert worm moth. Has some gold streaks on its back if you get it in the right light. Here are some very common moths that I see in my backyard. This is a wedgeling. And then up here I've got a yellow striped armyworm moth. Here's the white dotted prominent. It's a pretty large moth. I'll give you my hand for comparison. Of course, we have lots of other types of insects on our sheet. There's some big click beetles. Got a great big grasshopper here. Smaller green grasshopper here. Even have a couple of honeybees and lady beetles. Here's a longhorn beetle. Lots of interesting insects around. Over here at my blacklight, we have some different insects that have arrived. Let's check out and see what we've got. We have a bird dropping moth. This is a really cool moth that mimics bird droppings so that when it lands on a leaf, a predator won't see it or won't recognize it as possible food. They'll leave it alone. Down here we have another one of those Ailanthus webworm moths. They're pretty common in backyards in Oklahoma. Ooh, I just found a cool moth down here at the bottom. This is the dark Merythissa moth. Has a very neat shape. Curls its abdomen back up behind its body. Some really tiny moths. They come in all shapes and sizes. Here's a little grass tube worm. It's amazing how many species are right here in this little bit of fabric with a light on it. So many, just in one night. If you're interested in moths or other insects, it's wonderful to upload them to iNaturalist, either using the app or the webpage at inaturalist.org. We'd love to have your observations in our Moths of Oklahoma project. Thanks.